Hey, welcome to Greg Morton Outdoors. I'm Greg, aka Cottage, and today we're going to do Appalachian Trail Mythbusters. We're going to talk about 5 myths when it comes to the Appalachian Trail. This is poking me. I don't know where to put it. Myth number 1. It costs between $800 and $1,000 per month to hike the Appalachian Trail. Not true. So I recently did a breakdown of costs on hiking the Appalachian Trail, and I figured out monthly expenses for what it would cost. So I went to a Dollar General. And came up with a cost for about a 4-day resupply, and that's about $65. So do that 7 times a month. It's a little bit over $450. Now granted, when you're on the trail, you will use Dollar General a lot, but sometimes that's not an option. You're going to spend a lot more. So my estimates are the very low end. So I also figured on at least 2 zeros and 1 Nero per month. So that's 5 nights in lodging. And I estimated one night at a really cheap hostel at about like $25. 2 nights at a little bit more expensive hostel, like $35 a night. Then 2 nights in a hotel, and on the cheap end, that's $100 a night. So you can see how that figures up. I also added in meals to be, a few dinners at about $20 each, lunches for $15 and breakfast for $10. Added in about $40 a month in transportation, because you're going to take shuttles or Ubers. $15 a month for laundry, so that's doing laundry about 3 times, and about $50 for miscellaneous. So that being like fuel canisters, first aid supplies, personal hygiene. And last, because we're 6 months on trail, I went through 6 pair of shoes. You're at $130 per month for shoes. Now what I did add in were other gear costs and other miscellaneous things, such as if you're going to go out and have drinks, if you're going to do any sort of entertainment while you're in town, like go to movies, roughly a low-end estimate here. And I came out to about $1,200. Now I'm sure there's some people out there going to be like, well, a friend of mine did it for $300 a month. Great for your friend. I'm just being honest with you. And like I said, this was a very low estimate on the cost of things. Granted, Georgia and North Carolina are less expensive than, well, basically anything above the Mason-Dixon line. Prices go up exponentially. And, when you're doing things like you're deli blazing in Jersey and New York, or if you're hitting the waysides in the Shenandoah, if you decide to slack pack, there's a cost there. If you want to aqua blaze, there's a cost there. If you're going to yellow blaze something, there's probably going to be a cost there too. So, like I said, this is a very conservative estimate. It was about $1,200. Honestly, I would plan, depending on your lifestyle, at least 15 or 1600 bucks a month. And the extra 400 bucks, like I said, if you're going out, if you're going to have drinks, if you're a green blazer, you know, that costs money too. That's not counting any of your expenses back home. So you might still be paying rent, car payments, you know, loan repayments, things like that. And it's also not taking into account gear and clothing. You will not finish with the same gear and clothing you started off with. I guarantee you. Nobody that I hiked the trail with off and on started and ended with the same gear and clothing. Socks will wear out, underwear wears out. You know, in my case, my pants I lost so much weight, my pants are really loose. So everything's going to change. So, myth number one, you can't do it for that much money. Myth number two, you have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on the most ultralight gear you can find in order to hike the Appalachian Trail. Totally false. I ran across numerous people out there who had some budget gear, including myself. You don't have to drop thousands and thousands of dollars to buy everything that, like, Dan Becker has in order to hike the Appalachian Trail. Somebody that I hiked with off and on, Savory, bought some of her stuff on Amazon, like her tent and things like that. Her fanny pack was from when she was a lifeguard. So she didn't drop thousands and thousands of dollars on gear, and she made it to Katahdin. I ran into a person at a shelter, and his backpack and his sleeping bag both were from Walmart. And he made it to Katahdin, I'm assuming, because he was really fast. Myself personally, you know, I've got items made by Perea Outdoor Products. You know, they're a budget gear company. It's quality gear, but, you know, it's at a really good price. Could I have gone, you know, lighter with, you know, like my sleeping pad and things like that? Absolutely. But you know what? It's a great piece of gear. I got a great night's rest on it. So why not? So don't think that hiking the Appalachian Trail is out of your reach because you didn't spend $5,000 on your gear. Absolutely not. In fact, probably at the most, $1,200 will get you a really good, nice setup and, you know, pretty decent weight as well. You know, and the whole, you know, base weight kind of thing, you know, well, I've got an 8-pound base weight. Oh, mine's 7.2 pounds. That all goes out the window, because I guarantee you, you're going to do a resupply and you're going to pack out like a 4-pound summer sausage, or you're going to pack out like 5 pounds of avocados. It's going to happen. So the whole, oh, my base weight, that's stupid. Okay, don't even worry about your base weight. In fact, what I recommend is, you know, while you're training up for your hike, put 4 days worth of food and water in your pack. So I would carry, you know, 2.75 liters of water. So 2 big bottles and a 750 milliliter one on my my sleeve up here. So get your water, get 4 days worth of food, and do your practice hikes with that. And speaking of practice hikes, this brings me to myth number 3. So myth number 3, I'll get in shape as I hike the trail. Don't laugh. You'd be surprised how many people said that exact thing. Let me tell you right now, that is a huge myth. You might get in shape, or you might not. Let's face it, only 25% of the people that start the Appalachian Trail actually finish it. If you're in shape before you start the trail, your chances will probably be increased greatly, at least on the physical aspect of it. I mean, let's be honest. If you're a 5'5", 300-pound person and your daily activities consist of sitting on the couch, eating bonbons and watching Dr. Phil, yeah, the odds of you making it are very high. You know, everything in life is easier when you're in good shape. I don't care if you're doing a thru hike, if you're giving birth, if, you're just living life. If you're in shape, the easier it's going to be. Ladies, I'm not saying giving birth is easy, okay? No, I'm a father myself. I saw my wife do it. Yeah, you guys have it rough. So what should you do about that? Well, put down the bonbons and get off the damn couch. All right, start training up for your thru hike. You know, you might say, well, I live in Nebraska. We don't have any mountains. I don't care. Get out there and walk with your pack on. And when you do it with your weight that I talked about earlier. So have all your gear in there, like 2.5 liters of water and 4 days worth of food, and go out and hike with that. The following week, add an additional 5 pounds. The week after that, add 2 more pounds. The week after that, take it up to 10 additional pounds. Why do I say this? So if you are used to hiking on flat ground with 30, 35 pounds in your pack, when you get on the Appalachian Trail and your pack only weighs 23 pounds, it's going to feel like you have on a day pack. I'm not going to say it's going to be real easy, to get through Georgia and North Carolina, but it's not going to be as difficult as if you didn't train at all. The other thing you can do is start going to the gym. My mantra is more time in the gym equals better time on trail. And that's absolutely true. So if you're in shape, not just your running, your walking, your lower body, work your upper body as well. You're going to need your core and your back because you'll have that pack on. And your body's going to constantly have to, flex its muscles to keep your body rigid and straight. Work out your shoulders. God knows you're going to use those. You're using trekking poles. And you know what? Everybody needs trekking poles when they do this. I can't see how somebody can do it without trekking poles. And it just makes life easier. But trekking poles, you're working your arms all the time. You know what? Make sure you work those out too. Overall physical fitness. Do you need to get in there and bench 315? Absolutely not. But you need to get in there and you need to hit those weights as well. All right, here we go. Myth number 4. You have to hike the Appalachian Trail with somebody. Now, when I hiked the trail, I started by myself. And I guess you could say I ended up with a group of friends, a tramily, so to speak. But I look at it this way. I did so much of it on my own, and I ran into so many different people. I never had a tramily, but I had more of a neighborhood. And maybe it's because that's my personality, is that I can go off by myself and have a great time. By the way, I'm walking through mud here, so I'm making sure I don't fall. But yeah, maybe that's more of my personality. I can have a good time by myself. I'm not the one that needs to have people around all the time. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Just some people are a little bit more social than others. And there's nothing wrong with being that way. I just would enjoy time by myself to, just kind of get off and do my own thing and be in my own head. And, if I wanted to stop, I could stop. If I wanted to press on, I could press on. Miles are my miles. I wasn't having to put up with somebody else's goals. So, you know, I enjoyed that. And, you know, some people that I hiked around, you know, my laid back attitude towards things might have annoyed them. But that's just how I became. Is that, you know, I'd wake up in the morning and, you know, the miles I get are the miles I get. I'd have a goal. If I made it, great. If I surpassed it, great. If I didn't meet it, great. But, you know, it was my journey. Just like it's your journey. And don't let anybody dictate the parameters of your journey. It's your life experience. God knows, you're paying for it. So, like they say, you do you, boo. Don't worry about anybody else. Take care of yourself. And don't worry, if you start by yourself, you're going to meet people. Guarantee you. My friends Tank and Monarch met their friend Hulk, or I should say our friend, within like day 1, day 2 of hiking. And, you know, they stayed together until the end. So you will meet people. Just, you know, keep your options open. You might find your new best friend. You know, and with that, don't think you need to have a tramily within like the first few days. Don't think you need to have a trail name within the first, you know, whatever, you know, week or so. I think it was like 18 days before I got a trail name. I wasn't too concerned with it, but, you know, it fit. So I took it. But you'll see that you'll run into people in Georgia, for you northbounders, that all they want to ask you is, what's your trail name? Oh shit, bro, I just got on trail 2 days ago. You know, try to have a little meaning behind it, you know. Don't make it that superficial. Put a little thought into the process. You don't have to take the first one that's thrown at you. You don't have to take any of them. It's your choice. Well, there we go. There's 4 myths about the Appalachian Trail. Yeah, let me give you a bonus one. So the myth is the Appalachian Trail is a wonderful journey where you'll have epic times, incredible challenges, and meet wonderful people. That one's true. Okay, folks, thank you for watching. Don't forget, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Happy New Year's. We'll talk to you in 2024.